Okay, so here we're going to build a freebie, which is also known as clickbait or lead magnet. It's basically a handout of something digital that we can give for free online in exchange for someone's email address and first name. So in front of you, you see our typical folder structure where we apply the Goodwin method to every project that we do. Operations, sales process, phase 1 research, phase 2 planning, phase 3 building, phase 4 traffic, phase 5 reports. And for the purpose of building a freebie, we are going to go into the building folder, and under shopping carts and products, products can have $0 price points. So even free items are considered products because it's something that we are giving to a lead or a potential customer from a warm audience. So we're going to go into products, and we are going to start a new slide. Okay, so we build our freebies in slides. We have the basic information from the client or the partner or whoever's project we're working on. We have the basic information in a Google Doc where we just wrote some words and sentences and kind of brain dumped a rough draft, which you'll see right here. This is the rough draft right here. But when we get ready to actually build it, we build it in a Google slide. So let's go ahead and build this project's freebie. One of the first things I do is I name it, okay? And the first word, I always put in capital letters, freebie, so we can search all the freebies at once when we search through Google Drive with a keyword. And then we will call this one what it is, 3 secrets to improving your credit score in 60 days, okay? So we're gonna name it. And because this is something that people might print, and because we want it to look like a book, an ebook, or even a real book, we are going to change the page setup from landscape to portrait. And specifically, we do custom 8.5 by 11, just like a piece of paper that you would print out on a printer. So once we've changed the structure of the page, we're just going to highlight this and take it out. All right, so we're going to start with a blank screen. Our first page is always going to be the cover, like the cover of a book. So for right now, we're going to insert a text box that says cover image, which we don't have yet. We're going to build that together, okay? So I'm just going to make this really big and bold and center, and we know that that's just going to be the cover image of the ebook, of the freebie. Cover image of freebie, okay? So then we're going to start a new slide that is also blank. And what I like to do is I like to brand these second pages, third pages, fourth pages, not the top one, with what looks like a footer. So we're going to insert a shape, a square or rectangle, and we're going to bring a footer color right here. And if it's not behaving nicely, what you do is you zoom in and you come down here and you fix it, okay? Okay, now you'll see this has a border. It's okay if it's hanging off the side. It's okay because once you save it to a PDF, whatever is past the 8.5, it's not gonna show. So you can either get it right on there or you can let it overhang a little bit. So we're gonna take off the border. We don't need a border. Border color, none. And the fill, the coloring for the fill is always going to be from the client's brand board. So in this case, if we go back over to the folder and we go to folder 2, planning, we'll see that there's a brand board, okay? And when we open the brand board, we have the colors here that we're going to use. So for the case of the footer, we could use something kind of light, EFE. E-F-E-D-E-A. E-F-E-D-E-A. So maybe we'll do custom color. It's pretty close here. E-F-E-D-E-A. All right, so now we're using the customer's color. This I can tell is not hanging close enough, so I'm just going to bring it over just to be safe. Okay, and we are going to add some text in there. Insert text box with their business information or their personal information, whatever we're using here. So for this particular project, it is all rights reserved, and I'll format this text in a minute. And then I usually put about 20 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then I put the website. And then I can just copy the same amount of spaces. Copy, paste, and then I make this white. Let's see if white is going to be too light. I center it. I make it smaller. It's not the main part of the, of the ebook, the freebie, but it's there. So let me take this down a little bit. And take this down a little bit. And it might be a little too light on the font, so maybe I'll just do a little bit darker gray. Now, since the brand board, oops, I did the wrong one. Since the brand board font color, there we go. Let's go look at the brand board. I wonder if the gold, actually the red, 8E3342. E3342. That works nicely. All right, so now we can zoom back out a little bit. And you see we have a footer. So when we duplicate the slide, it'll show up on everyone. We're not going to do that yet. So now we go over to the brain dump, the rough draft of what the client provided as far as content. Now, I went through this with them and asked them some questions, and we put some basic info in here that we can use, which is going to be great. We've already done this. So now we are going to move this information into the slides and dress it up and make it pretty. So we have the name of the freebie, 3 secrets to improving your credit score in 90 days. So the way we start building is everything is separate. We're going to insert a text box here. And I always pull it to the side so that it automatically centers when we use the center for the font. Okay, backspace, all. We're going to center it. Obviously, we're going to make it bigger. Maybe bold it, drop it down. And we are going to use the font that the client provided. So again, the brand board. We're going to come over to the brand board. We're going to see the fonts are a Poppins, a Helvetica-ish. Now this is from Canva, so sometimes the font names won't be the same. So we get as close as possible. I know that Helvetica is a very popular one, and that should be in Google Fonts. But I think I'd like to use, let's see, I think I'd like to use for the body body text. And you usually do the body text anywhere from 14 to 16. Actually give it a margin here. And this one would be, let's see if there's a Helvetica. H, no. So we might just have to pick some basic ones that don't distract from the brand, and we'll make sure that we brand in the cover image and brand in the footer and put some branded images or colors into the body. So in this case, and I'm just scrolling down a little bit more, we could add some fonts into, I think you can add more fonts. Helvetica. Okay, so there's Helvetica. We'll add that one. And then if this one, I know there's not going to be a Poppins. That's a very random, rare one, I think. Could be wrong. Oh, great. Both of these fonts are in Canva and Google. So I'm going to use Poppins for the titles. And I'm going to use Helvetica for the body for now. Now I might find I want to switch it by the time I get done with this page. So let's see how this goes. So this is the first section. So I'm going to bring this over. I'm going to increase it to 16. I'm going to use the Helvetica. Looks like there's multiple. Light, normal, bold. Okay, normal. I am going to bold this though. So maybe these will be, let's see, let's zoom in just a little. Zoom in. I guess that went right to 100, yeah. All right, and I'm going to bring this down a little bit. And I might put an image in here from the brand board. All right, so now this was just rough drafted, so I have to write this. Why improving your credit score is so important. So it is important to maintain a great credit score because is vital to your, it is a key component. It is a key component to the future you desire. Now, normally this would be written a little bit more for the assistants. Okay, to the future you desire. And then I'm just going to bullet these. Easy visual to do. Qualify for the house, for the dream, for the house of your dreams. Get the luxury vehicle you want. Pay. See, I'm using the same first. Qualify, get, pay. Always use the same type of word at the beginning of a bullet list. Pay lower interest rates, which saves you money. Qualify, get, pay. Start your own business with an approved loan. With an approved business Okay, I'm going to put another space here. Now I might want to put an image here. I might not. I'm going to go look at the next section, how credit scores work. So we're going to use the same format that we just did here. I'm going to put our mouse over the blue bar, copy, which I use Control-C on my keyboard, paste, Control-V. I'm going to move this down. You always build separately so you can move stuff around very easily. Okay, and then I'm going to take the next copy, all, paste, all, 16 I believe we did, Helvetica, and take off the bullet, space like we did above, with the colon like we did above. Okay, how credit scores work. Zoom back in. The credit bureaus partner up with the lenders and create an algorithm that results in your FICO score. The algorithm system is using two different methods. I always look for opportunities to use bullets. Models, I should say. Scoring model. Of which dictate what is on your credit report. The items that affect your scores are, again, another bullet, credit cards, loans, mortgages, rental payments, and timeliness of payments. Keeping it very simple, okay? It's bold. And again, I should take this and move it to a different section. You don't want your sections to be too long. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this section, put my mouse on the blue edge, copy, paste. I'm going to take the second one, and the second one. I'm going to move the top, bring it right down here. And the first one, I'm going to remove the bottom. Bring it right up here. Take this one. Zoom out so I can see it all together. Okay, so this one is going to go up a little. This one is going to go up a little. And this one, let's make sure that it's lined up. I guess they're all centered. Really should be lined up. Let's see, right there, right there. Okay. Now, that didn't give us any room for a picture. And we only did these first two sections. We redesigned these two paragraph looking sections into a pretty page. What we can do to add a little bit of branding to this boring black and white is we could either possibly put an image kind of behind this, or we could move this section to the next page and put an image here, or we could try and put some images on the right. So let's say we wanted to put an image of a dream home right here. We could move this over and it brings stuff down, so we could try and squeeze all this stuff in a little bit better. And we could change the font size a little bit. So instead of 16, we can make it 15. Because anything over 12 is readable. All 15. And then if we're going to put a picture here, we should put one here and put one here. So 3. Yeah, so we have room here. We can bring this down a little bit more. Oops. We could bring this over a little bit more. This over a little bit more. Move this one down. And we could take this space out if we wanted to. Let's see. Keep that there. There we go. Okay, those look spaced well. Now I'm going to go back to, oh, actually this one, oh, it is 15, right? It is. I'm going to go back to the brand board. Okay, now we have a discrepancy. This I'm going to change to about an 8. This space I'm going to change to about an 8. And this space we don't have, I'm going to change to an 8. And then just move this up again. There we go. So now we have consistency is big. We have a space after each black bold title before the content. This looks like it could come down just a bit. Okay, now I'm going to put 3 images. All right, and I'm going to go back to the brand board. And I'm going to look at the client's style of images. All right, so we see that there's a hint of burgundy. You can see it in the card here. You can see it in the car. You can see it in the texture. There's definitely a lot of grayish gold beige tones. There's a black and white tone. So we're going to try and use images that come from the client's brand board, which are stored also in the folder. Okay, so following the Goodwin method, we go into the building folder, images, product images, and we can see some of the images are here that we can use. So for the dream home, I would use this image. So I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to say insert image. Now I have these on my computer already. So I am going to pop this, oops, pop this in here. And if it's not going to fit as a square, we could even do something a little bit longer, more portrait, by double clicking, pulling it in a little bit, enter, and making it fit the page a little bit better. Okay. So let's see what other images we have here. We can use the money one, and we could use the car. I'm going to upload both of those by using my control button on my keyboard. We're going to make them smaller. This one, this one. So I'll probably use this one for here and this one. Car payments. So we could probably put I could put loans, mortgages, rental payments, loans, car payments. Okay, again, this is a free guide, so this is just to get them to the next step. And I'd probably center it under this image. And then this one, oops, let's see how big this one. Yeah, we'll probably want to do very similar. I'm looking at the white space between the images. I'm looking to make sure they're lined up with the amount of text. And that looks pretty good for a page one. Okay, so you see how we took this information that was just brain dumped and turned it into the beginning of a freebie. And we're going to do the same thing for each page. So we're going to duplicate this slide. Then we're going to take out what's in here. I'm going to take out 2 of these and leave the base positioning of what was above. And I'm going to keep going with this. So what I want to switch to now, because you get the idea of this, is 2 things. There's going to be a final page at the end. Okay, so if I duplicate this slide, there's going to be a final page at the end when we're done with the inside pages. And the final page at the end is usually, you know, thank you for grabbing this free guide, or whatever you're calling it. Okay. And then you are asking them to do the next thing in your funnel, in your value ladder, in, you know, whether it be get my free consultation or follow me on social media. Now, if this is the beginning of a client's funnels, you're not going to have the next funnel 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to talk about on this thank you page yet. So what you usually do is you put your social media here in the meantime while you're working on funnel 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so what I'm going to do is show you what that would look like. I have another one done from yesterday, so I'm going to copy and paste that over here. And then the other piece is the first page. So the first page is unique, the last page is unique, and all the center pages, the meat and potatoes as I call them, are pretty much the same, just different information, but the same format. So you've seen how I've done the inside page, and now I want to show you how I do the last page and the first page. The first page I do predominantly in Canva. So I'm going to go over to Canva. Actually, I'm going to go over to the social media page that I completed yesterday, and I'm going to copy it over here and come right back. So here's one that was started yesterday and finished yesterday for another project that is just starting out. We're just starting to get them automated online and take their wonderful information and put it into funnels. And so this one you can see has a totally different branding. So the cover page is unique and the final page is unique with the social media. And then the inside pages have a very similar look with a light green bar and a yellow highlight and that rose-colored footer, right? Rose-colored footer, green bar, rose-colored footer, green bar. But this is the page I wanted to show you. So I'm going to just copy this to the project that I'm showing you, because if you've already done it, you can copy and paste. And let me make sure that these touch the sides so that it is a true center. And then I'm going to copy all of this and close it and come back over here and paste and center it a little more. And then I'm going to start editing these links based on this particular project. Okay, so that would be in the GOODWIN method, which I can't show you because it's confidential. We have a spreadsheet called SafeLock with all of our projects, passwords, usernames, social media links. So I will update that when I pause this video and you'll see what that looks like. And I'm also going to move over to Canva and create the home page. Okay, so I moved the relevant links over here. And I'm going to, again, before we build the second funnel, which this would then change to lead them directly to the second funnel. But while this is handed out for the first week or two, or maybe even a month before the second funnel is done, it's better to have them do something than nothing. And I'm going to insert possibly the logo if it looks good. You know, too much can be too much, but it doesn't look bad to balance it out. Sometimes you can even sneak the logo into the footer. If you make it really tiny, sometimes it'll look really good. And okay, so that's a decent thank you page for day one, again, until we take it to the next level, the next level, the next level. Now let's go ahead and head over to Canva, canva.com, and create a new cover image. So since I have already done a cover image creation here. I'm going to actually call this freebie cover, right? So we know that it's sized 8.5 by 11. Then what I'm going to do is make a copy to keep the same size. I'm going to rename it first and foremost. 3 credit report secrets. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and open it. And we are going to take everything out. And if we didn't want to take everything out, we could just make a copy, okay, and have the copy down below if we wanted to reference it, and then take everything out by selecting it and hitting the delete key on your keyboard. And now we start from scratch based on the brand board. Okay, so the brand board is very important to get done because it pulls everything that you put on the internet or even hand out at a speaking engagement or use as your book cover or your business card. The brand board happens in the Goodwin method in phase 2 planning after you've completed phase 1 research. So it's very important to have that brand board so you're not wondering what images you should use and what colors, and everything looks very matchy and your brand has a great look. So we are going to look at the brand board and also look at the images in this project. Put it back this way, building. I want to look at the brand board. Actually, what I'm going to do is open a second window so that I can have the brand board open over here. It's going to be in planning, brand board. And then over here, I want to have the images open. Product images, website funnel images. Okay. So the cover of a 3 secrets would probably have to do with money and possibly some textures would come in nicely there. So if I was going to upload an image, which I've already have this in here, I could use a stock photo to use to make the cover. And if you wanted the cover to not have any white space, you could use a texture if you wanted as a background. Okay, you'd have to stretch it pretty far or you'd have to crop and then stretch. And then you'd send that to the back. Now that's pretty busy for me. I don't like it. You'll delete it. Sometimes, you know, this is trial and error. Get crop. And if it's too busy, positions in the back. Actually, it might work. But if you just wanted an image, then you would have to crop. And you would have to use the image as the background, as the cover image, okay? And then you could use this image and put some, you know, you could make it darker. So I'm gonna make a copy really quick. I'm gonna do 2 different versions. Let me bring this back over here. I'm gonna see which one I like better. I'm gonna put this back on top. I'm going to possibly even do half and half. Now, bring this up a little more. See how that one looks. I'll see which one looks better when I'm done. Maybe I'll put a bar with some words in it. Maybe I'll put the bar across this way. Maybe I will give it a little transparency. You can see the money behind it. Maybe I will put some font on to see how it's looking. Now, I don't consider myself a designer. This is, you know, you're down and dirty. You can always go to a professional graphic designer and hire them as a subcontractor. You can do that on Fiverr.com. You can go and look at ebook cover images, ebook cover image ideas, you know, or samples, or just type this in and type image, and you could go look at something for inspiration. The client, or you know, whoever you're doing this for, or maybe yourself, might have something that you really like and that you want to model it after. If so, then you know, I like this one, but that's also aligned with the industry that I'm in. So this actually has some of the coloring. So I might use this as a model. I could use the burgundy letters. I could, so if I use a third, if I do a third idea here and take out this image, this and this, and go back to uploads and do the kind of the luxury crop, the luxury image. And if we put a little be nice to actually put a gradient on this, but for this, I wonder if they have gradient overlays in Canva. Looks like they do. If they do have a gradient overlay with two colors, let's see. And I can rotate this. There we go. Then we could put text over it. And then again, we would use the font from the client's brand board. How British. Maybe there's a Poppins. Bold. We would use the burgundy, which would be 8E 3342. Oops, color 8E 3342. If that's not going to work, then we would just use white. Now, the credit pair, and then 3 secrets to improving your credit score in 60 days. I like to make the spacing a little less tall. Again, if you bring this out, center it. So I'm going to play around with this a little bit. Pause the video and be right back. Okay, so I came up with a quick cover using the project's logo and colors and font styles. And I'm going to download this now as a PNG, an image file. I'm only going to download page 1, and I can always change this later. So I'm going to download this, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to come over here, take out this text box, and say Insert Image, Upload. And I'm going to grab the new cover and pop it in there. And actually it didn't pop in, it didn't pop in all the way to the corners, but I almost like that it has a white border. But if this image didn't work with, all you do is you bring it, you just stretch it. And you make sure there's no white space. There's a little white space down here, so I'm gonna bring it out a little bit more. It's easier if you zoom in. And you could even stretch this. So there, now totally covers it. Zoom back out. So you have your cover. And you also have this image that you can use on your landing page so people can grab it. Or what I like to do, so again, I will go through and finish this after this video. You get the idea because we did this one together. But what I like to do is go make this look 3D. So let me show you how that works. So here's a very easy free website, adazing.com, adazing.com, and they give you a free ebook cover creator. Choose your cover template. Again, this is for the landing page. This is a separate image that you are going to put on the landing page where you ask somebody for their first name and their email address. And you can do it, you know, like this. This is easy. Use this template. And then you would add your email address if you want to. You can put a fake one in there if you don't. You upload the cover. Send me. It is scrolling, and it's going to put your image that you just created into a 3D ebook graphic that looks like it is spiral bound. So it's showing you down here the other options, okay, on different devices. But up here, download your free mockup is where you would get the one that you chose and download it. .3D, and then just to show you what it looks like, boom, there it is. So it's pretty simple to create these things that you see online, and I hope this tutorial was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.